What's up, guys? That's right, Cody left the camera for me to strip the H-body today. You saw that in the last video. He pulled that in the garage. And guess what the very first thing I did was when I got here? I forgot all about the camera. I'm sure you guys are not surprised. Cody's not going to be surprised at all. So I'm actually pretty much done stripping this thing, but I thought I'll stop before I finish filling it up full of trash and just kind of run through with you guys. This is what I would call one of our typical W-body strips. I know it's an H-body, but a lot of the same parts that we use on the W-bodies actually work in here as far as cage material and things like that, around the same size. So just a quick walk around of what we look for whenever we pull a car back into the shop, the parts that we want to strip off of it. So starting out here in the rear, there's nothing left of the trunk. Cody did an awesome job packing that sucker in. And if you remember, this car was actually pretty rusty on top of it being a Marshmallow car. So as far as control arms and struts and things like that, not really going to be able to reuse those. But typically if there was a bumper in the back, we would take the bumper. This was a wire car. So as you can see here, we don't have any all-thread or plates in our trunk. Normally I'd start here in the back and I would take the all-thread and the plates, nuts, washers, bolts, anything like that. Would come around, actually we'll go to this side first, and I would do the same thing on the doors actually. Sometimes we like to put bolts through our windows just to kind of hold the tops of the windows together, and we would pull those out as well. We don't really cut plates off the doors. I know sometimes we have to weld the doors shut. Again, this was a wire car, so there's not a lot to strip there. Our back seat bar and our tank protector or tank holder. Some cars that we have, the difference there would be a tank holder is just a flat angle iron off the back that the tank sits on and bolts to. Tank protector would be more of a cage that goes around the tank to keep it from getting dinged up. So take that back bar out, take the whole cage out. You want to come in next, we pulled the door bar out of here, dash bar across the front, that is out. Window chains, take the window chains out. I already got the fuel lines and the battery cables. Like I said, I already threw a little bit of trash back in as I was stripping things. Fuel line, battery cables, you can reuse that. So the entire cage comes back out, halo and everything. Fuel lines, battery cables, and then we start to move up to the engine bay. So that's where things get a little more interesting. On this car, it's not really the same motor that we run, so not a ton of parts fit, but I did take the coil packs off and the spark plug wires, because if you guys have watched a few of our other videos, you'll know that we like to move that coil pack up on top in a safe spot. And whenever you do that, you want to take plug wires with you, because on the next car, typically you have to extend the first 3 down here to get them to reach to the back, because normally the coil packs are mounted right in there. Front bumper, we took that off. Mounting plates and shocks, they either come off with the bumper or they stay on the car. That's not a real big deal. Usually we have all thread running through here with a nut, bolt, washer, all that stuff. A nut, a plate, and a washer, excuse me. So take all of that stuff off. One thing, you know, luckily I don't think we've ever had to use them. I've got a whole pile of them, but I always take the oil cap and the dipstick. We have bought cars before that are missing little things like that, and it's nice to have them. Now that I started collecting them, we really don't have much. Our temp gauge, temp sensor, we took the temp sensor out. We always plug a stock one in here so that we can, you know, use it on the next car. You can see down here is the stock one, so I'll still pull that out so that we've got a spare later on. Computer, W-body, we take that. On the H-body, I'm not sure if that would really work for us, so I'm leaving the computer in here. We talked about the bumper. Now, I do have a little surprise for Cody. You know, I'm what you might call a nostalgic derby driver. We're not here to make money, we're here to make memories. We should put that on a sticker, actually. That's a great thing. So whenever we can, whenever we drive a car hard, whenever we have a good time in the car, one thing I like to do, take the door panels off, the exterior. They're actually really easy to do. I always just take the torch and make a quick little cut down the side here, and then you have some tabs. Just cut that tab off, and this all just pulls off. Don't have to cut anything here. The same thing with the little bracing bars. Don't have to cut any of that. And then right here in the back. Same thing, one little tab, make a slice down the door, and the entire panel comes off with our graffiti on it. I know the torch is right in the way right now, but hopefully Cody will want to hang that up on the wall. I've got one. I want to collect a few more. That's something we can look at, guys, whenever you're in the 11th hour, 13th hour, whatever hour it is in the garage. You're stressed out and you got a million things happening. You look up there on the wall and you go, man, we were able to pull that thing off. This thing's not going to be such a bad build. So Cody should be here anytime. What I'm going to focus on next, that's pretty much everything we're taking out of this car. Can kind of show you the stockpile here, parts. The strap that we run behind the seat is out. There's those coils, spark plug wires, things like that. And if you put the cage in right, guys, we do a lot of bolt-in cages. This was a piece-together weld-in. This actually came out of my Regal originally. And I think we promised we'd show you guys here at one point, but that right there is the very first ever Goose Box. One switch has been pulled out. We had to use a switch for another car. That never got a graphic, never got paint, never had anything. It was a quick idea that I had and we threw it together, and it still works today. It's been buried in the snow for a couple seasons. It's in a bunch of cars. We're on to bigger and better things with those. We've got the second edition out now. But again, probably not going to save axles. I know a lot of times we like to pull the axles. You can't even see in there, it's dark, but Cody's way better at this camera shit than I am. I just weld to make things look pretty. But the last piece of the puzzle, once we get it up on the trailer, is we will actually pull all the tires off. It's a lot easier to roll it up on the trailer with the tires on it, obviously. And it's a lot easier to roll it on the trailer if you can in neutral. So the very last thing we do when we get to the scrapyard, we pull them tires off. And then Cody's favorite part, we like to keep the keys. Those are always fun to hang on the trophy. If you got a trophy or two with the car, you hang the keys on there. And again, making memories, having a good time. So the H-body, she's stripped. Don't think there's anything else we'll be able to save off of this car, but we got enough stuff to build another one out of it. And now let's see, since I removed those door skins, how good I am at trying to get this monster pile of junk. That's all from the Unicorn, if that color looks familiar. I'm going to get all of that inside this car. So we get a clean shop, we get a scrapped car, we get a nice check back from Weller's Auto Salvage, and I'm going to try to get this garage swept. You guys know that's my favorite part. So, as Cody likes to say, I do know where we're at in this video because I made it all in one. So, just about 8 minutes right now. Appreciate you guys following along. As always, get goosed!